what I found vibe coding to be very useful for is if you want to make a rapid prototype, right?
Yeah.
So how does my idea look in a very simple prototype? It doesn't necessarily have to be working or like a final product, but maybe just on the front end.
Welcome to Kaka Computer, and we are going to talk about vibe coding, or is it just a faster version of Copy-Paste Stack Overflow? So I am Nikz. How are you guys?
Yeah, I'm Leonard.
I'm Nikz.
Hi, I'm Aki.
Yeah. So nice meeting you guys. Ano bang mga ano bang take nyo sa vibe coding? Usong-uso ito ngayon, no? Nagagawa ba natin ito sa school, sa work?
Actually, to preface that, I would like to ask a question po. Ano po ba yung... What is our definition po ba of vibe coding? Kasi for me, vibe coding, I've defined it as like, gagamit ka ng ChatGPT to generate the code and then yun, copy-paste ka na lang. Ayun po ba yung parang definition niya rin when it comes to vibe coding?
That's the yung pinaka sikat na understanding sa vibe coding, no. Para siyang magge-generate nga ng code through AI and without without reviewing the code, no. Tapos i-deploy mo. That's vibe coded code. So yun yung nagagamit ba natin ito sa ating mga work? Or kasi ako meron akong vibe code before na feature lang naman, no. However, that feature is alam ko naman sa sarili ko na alam ko yung algorithm. So for me hindi ko rin siya masasabing vibe coded kasi ni-review ko siya once na generate siya ng AI. Ni-review ko pa rin siya kung tama ba yung algorithm, yung logic and all. So, for me, vibe coding is code na hindi na-review or hindi kayang i-review pero dineploy. For me.
Kaya
How
siya
about you
tinawag na
guys?
vibes.
So, yung part na vibe coding is more on the part na hindi mo siya na-review. That's on your side. For me naman, vibe coding has many kinds. No? Meron tayong mabait na vibe coder, meron tayong masamang vibe coder. Which is na-explain nyo naman yung vibe coder na masama, yung deploy na diretso. For me, pasok pa rin siya sa part na vibe coding if may part na reviewing kahit to some extent. Pero yung context niya is much better. Kumbaga, hindi lang siya yung out of nowhere na gawan mo ka ng buttons, ganyan. Pero meron yung mabait na vibe coding is alam niya yung requirements, specifications na gusto niya. Tapos bago niya pinasa doon, pinagawa niya muna sa ibang AI na ito yung instructions mo, then pasa niya sa isang AI editor. So yung parang sinasabi ko na feel ko ito yung mga ginagawa ng vibe coder na nasa professional field, ako sakaling may ginagawa na mabait na vibe coder. So, ayun, masasabi kong vibe coding is more on, pero hindi ko siya makorelate paano siya naging copy-paste ng Stack Overflow. Kasi, for me, nire-review din naman natin si Stack O, if ever. Siyempre, mag-check ka lang, tama, di ba? So, ayun, ikaw, Leonard, Aki.
I think for me, I would say na vibe coding is more intuition coding. Kaya parang vibe coding is very lucrative for non-technical developers, people who want to start something. So I guess for me, vibe coding is, I think what you guys mentioned earlier, parang you're chatting with an agent, Cursor for example, Windsurf, mga ganun, di ba? Hey, I want to build this dashboard, pero you're not really providing a lot of context.
Yes.
So, parang binibigay lang yung code, it's just providing you with the code, accept na lang. And then, you try running it, as long as it works, okay na, parang ganun. Pero, I think, yung downside dyan is, as a developer, or as an aspiring developer, you don't really understand kung how does it work, or when there's a bug, like a very small bug lang, you don't understand kung saan siya gagaling, or you need to ask AI again to do it for you, right? So I guess like in my work right now, what I found vibe coding to be very useful for is if you want to make a rapid prototype, right?
Yeah.
So how does my idea look in a very simple prototype? It doesn't necessarily have to be working or like a final product, but maybe just on the front end. So that's what's really helpful. So if I have an idea that I knew that I can vibe code and get a decent result in 30 minutes, I think that would help me plan out at least kung paano ko siya i-implement.
Alright, so vibe coding pa. Again, in terms of vibe coding, I think it's more like you're offloading the work to the AI instead of you just manually coding. Sinasabihan mo si ChatGPT, gawan mo ako ng landing page. Gusto ko, ayun, ganito ganyan. And ayun nga, with regards to what Mig said, I think I agree with that, di ba? Meron namang siguro medyo ano lang yung term na masama tsaka mabuti. Siguro I would term it more like the uninformed vibe coders and the more intelligent vibe coders na talagang alam yung ginagawa nila. So, yung uninformed, ayun nga, parang ChatGPT, gawin mo ako ng landing page. Okay, there's not much context. And yung ano naman, yung more intelligent vibe coder naman, someone na, ChatGPT, ito yung gusto ko landing page, yung purpose ito is ganito, ganyan, I want the features to be ganyan, ganyan. So, it gives more context kasi parang kung iisipin natin, yung mga AIs naman natin, para lang yung mga interns na they're good, they might be good, they can do the work, but we still have to make it more understandable for them para kung ano yung gagawin nila, magawa talaga nila. According to what we want.
I think dito yung pumapasok na where prompt engineering is important, right? So right now I think it's more on how do you kind of map things in your head. Yeah, so I think this is where the concept of prompt engineering comes into play with vibe coding. So it's important na as developers we give AI proper context with the features, even yung tech stack and how you want it to be, how it will work. More than just zero-shotting it to yung AI agent na, like what you mentioned, like build a landing page. More than likely enough, pangit yung result niya. Or it's not the ideal result that we want.
White Cloak Technologies is a custom software development company. They build mobile and web applications. They work with leading brands in banking and real estate. Visit their website at www.whitecloak.com to know more.
You three are students, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Right now. So, do you think vibe coding is good when it comes to doing your school projects?
Okay.
Sige. Ayun. Sa tingin ko for me, dyan napapasok yung pang-exploratory ng pag-vibe code, no? So, ayun nga, si AI contains a lot of knowledge from different sources, no? And marunong siya sumagot, to be honest, no? So, siguro, to give an experience na lang din, no? So, meron akong task na kailangan gumawa ng isang Linux terminal na nag-run sa web, tapos kailangan live siya, no? Na totoo talaga terminal, no? So, dito pumasok yung madaming options, no? And yung time na to is very confusing siya for me na paano ko ba siya gagawin, di ba? So, dito pumasok si AI. So, si AI nagbigay siya ng madaming options. You can do lightweight VMs, no? Or pwedeng containers, no? For me, sa mga itong bagay, dito siya nakakatulong, yung mga exploratory. Tapos yung siguro another help niya for me for vibe coding is when building boilerplate code. Lalo sa mga frameworks natin na walang guide talaga, no? Pero yung mga guided, like mga enterprise frameworks, alam mo na yung gagawin eh. Pero yung sa mga ito kasi, yun yung, for me, pinaka-challenging part sa pagde-dev is yung pag-build ng boilerplate, mga ganyan. So, para mas madaling gamitin. So, dito pumapasok yung vibe coding na maganda, exploratory, and yung pag-build ng, ayun nga, mga basic stuff, mga boilerplates natin. Ayun.
Siguro, to add on to that na lang rin. And same purpose rin. Parang, if I don't know how to do something, I consult AI. Kasi, parang, I see AI as someone na it has a lot of memory, and its memory, of course, it's trained based on the current existing body of knowledge online. Diba? And siguro to compare na rin para siyang easier Stack Overflow. Kasi dati naman, when we didn't have AI before, we would consult Stack Overflow. So for example, may na-encounter kang error, search mo Stack Overflow. May gusto kang malaman, anong magandang tech stack for this application? Search mo kasi Stack Overflow. And doon mo makikita yung knowledge ng ibang mas maalam kaysa sa'yo. Di ba? Over the internet. Pero ngayon kasi, si Stack Overflow, it's limited in kung ano lang yung mga natanong na questions way before. What if you encounter something much more novel, di ba? Bagong problema. There's a chance na you will find similar answers or similar cases in Stack Overflow. Pero pag in-apply mo na, malalaman mo na, may difference pala. Hindi pala ito applicable in my case. So I think that's where vibe coding shines or AI shines. Na kaya niyang i-tailor fit yung knowledge sa internet much more relevant to your specific case. Pero yun nga, the responsibility of making sure that the AI knows the context, the full context, is up to you. Paano siya gagamitin with prompt engineering.
Ayan, siguro, forgot to add na lang din, no? So, parang masasabi ko rin na ako yung pinakaunang version ng Vibe Coder since 2022, yung naglabas si ChatGPT, no? Ang nangyayos kasi part na to, no? Siguro, maganda siguro take note natin, no? Once we do Vibe Coding, is isabay natin yung pagkatuto, no? So, when I started kasi, learning development, no? Consult ako ng consult kay ChatGPT, paano gawin ito, paano ganyan. Ngayon, at some point, no, since paulit-ulit na siya, palagi ko na-encounter yung same problems, parang yung alam niya, na-engrave na rin sa brain cells ko na, ganito yung gagawin ko. So, siguro vibe coding, samahan na rin din ng learning, no? Para vibe learning tayo. Ayun.
That's nice. Vibe learning.
No, vibe learning.
Yeah, I think for me, what I found valuable was it helps break things down. Break complex topics or complex code bases into much more understanding formats for me. So, kunyari, ang laki ng code base.
Yes.
Parang I don't want to go through it one by one. I want to get the gist right. Especially if it's a topic that I'm not familiar with. So, what I like doing is, kunyari may topic na hindi ako, like I don't really understand it. I ask the AI to create like an example for me. Then I just run it and I try to visualize what's happening behind the scenes. Not necessarily asking the AI to, can you do this homework for me? Can you do this for me? It's more of figuring out how the foundations work so that I can apply them to what I'm doing day by day. I also think from what Mark mentioned earlier about Stack Overflow, yeah, I completely agree with that kasi I see Stack Overflow as the Reddit for developers. It's limited for what has already been asked,
Yes.
right? But what if there's a more unique question? Or what if you're a complete beginner or like a novice and you want to keep asking additional questions? I think that's what's making vibe coding really interesting and very valuable for people who want to learn and upskill.
So, yeah, pagdating naman sa sa problem solving skills, no. Do you think vibe coding hinders our own problem solving skills?
I think to an extent of how you vibe code. I think you need to vibe code at your own risk.
Correct.
When you vibe code or when you even use AI for that matter, you need to understand also yung limitations niya. Na, yes, AI can solve the problem for you, but ano yung drawback niya to yourself, like as a developer? Would you be able to understand the topic?
Yeah.
Or would you go out and at the end of the day and tell yourself na, I don't really understand the problem, right?
At the end of the day, kailangan mo pa rin malaman yung algorithm, yung
Yes.
yung mga ganun. So, to solve the problem. So, how about you guys?
Siguro, na lang, general tip na lang, when you're going to vibe code, make sure na you still understand how it works. Kasi mahirap yung parang you're going to let AI do the work. Pero, ayun nga, kunyari, papagawa ka ng landing page. You don't even understand how landing pages work. So how are you going to validate kung ano yung ginawa ng AI? Kasi at the end of the day, AI isn't really a software engineer. It's just a tool na you will use eventually to make your work faster, more efficient, easier. Pero ayun nga, at the end of the day, kahit gano'ng galing pa yung AI na yan, you still need to make sure na yung ginawa niya is tama. You still have to act as the validator for the results.
Tama. Dapat mas tayo, mas maging matalino tayo sa maalam na AI. Ayan. So, gamitin natin siya to answer yung questions. Pero tayo yung gagawa mismo ng solution. Ayan.
Yeah, yun din ang lagi kong sinasagot sa mga nagtatanong sa akin about AI, vibe coding. Mas creative pa rin tayo compare sa AI dapat. Yun lagi. So, last question sa mga schools, for example, okay, alam nila yung vibe coding at tingin natin yung mga estudyante natin nag-vibe coding at nagkaroon sila ng guideline about it and pinagbawal nila, anong gagawin ninyo bilang student?
Pinagbawal yung vibe coding?
Or AI in general to generate code sa mga project?
Siguro I don't agree with that policy kung magkakaroon man. Pero I truly support na AI should be supported. Just kung magkakaroon man ng guidelines on how to use AI properly, hindi yun totally cut off AI kasi AI is very powerful.
I think for me, I also don't agree. I think vibe coding is something that would help us understand code. I think, frankly, make the professors' lives easier, right? I think tayo, mga college students now, I think we should take advantage of AI rather than resist it coming in. And I fully appreciate it. But obviously, right, put the guardrails in just to make sure that the students are kept in check.
Any other insights about it?
Yun naman. So, yung AI kasi pwede naman natin ikasama yun sa mga research papers, sa academic papers. So, bakit hindi natin pwede sabihin din sa pagdedev ng mga projects natin? So, parang may nakalagay lang doon, work made with AI or like build with something with AI. Yun lang naman. That's for me.
Yeah, schools, now you know. So, yeah, thank you very much for your insights. Napakagandang insights. And, thank you very much, panonood. And this is Kaka Computer.